needed hitter where the pitcher doesn't hit. In the National League, the pitcher hit, and so it kind of like it makes a difference between the two leagues. It changes things as far as strategy goes. I'm sure you all really care about that, but I do.
All right, y'all. How's everybody feeling tonight? Feeling amped? I just slacked out a link to the SQL lesson, SQL or SQL. We are going to be SQLing because we finished the classes on the other day, Saturday. Okay, I'm just getting my desktops set up for the lesson. We're probably gonna have to do a little bit of like debug install stuff just to make sure everyone has Postgres installed. But go ahead and fork and clone that lesson. Go ahead and fork and clone that lesson. I'm going to share out my screen. I need to fork and clone this lesson. I need to open up my terminal. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to cd do SEI. I'm going to cd do trainings. I'm going to get clone it there. Alrighty then, it's called just SQL, SQL. Both are valid pronunciations. You may have heard people saying SQL or SQL. The original technology was supposed to be an acronym that was like SEQ, like, or however you spelled SQL, the word. It was supposed to be all of them, but then they changed it to shorten it. Okay, so this is going to be one of those situations where Windows and Mac people type different things and Linux types different things. We need to open up what's called the PSQL shell, the pSQL shell. So just Mac people, we're just going to do Mac people first, because I have to figure out what y'all need to type if you're on the other systems. I think it's in the notes. But so just Mac people, type PSQL and press return. And your terminal should do what mine just did. It should say PSQL some version, type help for help, your username equals, and a hashtag. Give me a thumbs up if yours did that. All right. Give me a thumbs down if yours did not do that. Hey, well, okay, so Mac people, good to go?
Cool. No, my bad. You can't see me because it's like super dark in here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, what happened when you typed PSQL?
It says error connection to server on socket, blah, 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 failed, no such file or directory, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, cool. So everybody hit /Q like I just did. So everybody else that's not Wally, go /Q that and access the PSQL shell. And for Wally, can you type brew services start Postgres?
Services.
Like I just did. What did that do?
Got an error for that too.
What happens when you say brew services ls?
Yeah, mine says failure while executing. Let me do brew services ls. Brew
Yeah.
services
Oh.
ls.
I think me and you have the same problem. What it
Yeah, we
says
do.
MariaDB says started, MongoDB says started, but Postgres says error.
Yeah, same thing.
So it's
Let's
in-
just stop it and restart it real quick. So do brew services stop Postgres? Sometimes this helps. If not, we'll do a little debugging. Postgres. So sometimes stopping it helps,
Okay.
and then brew services start again.
Oh, so yeah, started successfully started.
Oh, sick. Okay, now
Yeah.
do brew services ls. What did you
Yeah,
say?
good to go.
Good to go?
My Postgres is started too. It's good.
Mine still says error, but I think I can maybe do
No,
it.
we're gonna fix it now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No. We need to get this fixed. So I tell you what, we're gonna test. Let's test Windows and then test Windows and Linux, and then we can maybe split up and do debugging if any Windows or Linux people need help.
Thank you.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. So we'll get to you in just a sec. So it's like you have to type something different on Windows. Let me figure it out. Okay, so if you're on Windows, I want you to type this PSQL -u Postgres. And if it doesn't work in Git Bash, we'll try it in PowerShell. So this is for Windows. Windows people, what is happening?
I did it and it's asking me for a password for Postgres.
Same here. Me too.
Put your computer password in?
Is that
Yeah, login password.
Sorry, which password is it asking for? The
Your
login
password? Yeah,
for the, it seems like it's
Ubuntu? No.
like creating one for Postgres, no?
When we
Uh-huh.
all up in the beginning, like we had to create our own password for Postgres. That's why, because I looked at my history and it's not my Windows password. It's like a password I made myself with Postgres, like back in September when we first started.
Okay, I'll look for that.
How did you look that password up, Kevin?
I didn't look it up. I just saved it in my on a Word doc, just in case I needed it.
Oh,
So-
did y'all have to do it during the? Okay, so yeah, if you made a password for the Postgres user, please figure it out. Let me know if you have any trouble. Well, Windows people, you're getting it started up, Christian, or yeah, Christian, what's up?
yeah, so I think I put a password in assuming it was the right one, and it's saying that the console code page differs from the Windows code page, but I think I'm still in because I'm getting Postgres equals the
Okay, yours should say, yeah, what this is this is a user called Postgres. I feel like we might be able to fix this, but yeah, yours should look like Postgres equals hashtag, right?
yeah, that's how it's looking like.
Okay, yeah, you're good to go. And you can put /Q to quit.
Gotcha.
Key and everyone else, let me know if you're good to go. Once you figure out your password.
So when you log in or password, it should be like mine says PSQL 13.4 and then warning console page, blah blah. But it still
Yeah.
works. It says Postgres equals hashtag, and then I did the quit thing and it worked. So
Yeah, if yours says like you Postgres equals hashtag, you're good to go. You can hit /Q to get out of that.
okay.
When I type, nothing even shows up. I don't know if it's because it's hiding the password, but the cursor doesn't even move.
That would be you're entering the password and you press keys.
Okay, so it's just, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't remember creating this, so I'll try different passwords, but I have a feeling I won't be able to get in this way.
Okay, you're gonna have to uninstall and reinstall probably.
Okay,
I just put in the same password as my like login to my Windows. That's what it gave me. Try that out
okay,
again.
okay,
I think-
I'll try that.
Yeah, try that. It's whatever you set it to be. Okay, so I think Rob, you're on Linux, right? have you logged into Postgres yet? Are you good to go? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I think that one might be different. So Wally, yours is currently bugged out, right?
Mine and Hisham's, but I'm doing a brew update real quick to see if it's
Cool.
just taking time.
Yeah. Just let me know when that's done.
Oh, should I do a brew update too then?
Yeah, give it a shot. It's almost always like a permission errors when Brew went to go install Postgres, like it didn't have permissions to create the database folder where it wanted to. That's like 9 times out of 10. That's the problem.
Maybe because I got a new Mac, so I did all this like when I got it, like I did the whole installation guide thingy.
Mhm.
Maybe I messed it up.
I'm actually having the same issue. I was behind getting testing it, but so how do we do the update?
Wait, whose voice was that? Sorry, I was.
This
looking
is
through
Greg.
Greg.
I think I'm having the same issue as Hisham.
Brew update. Oh, you might have to remove the postmaster. Yeah. So I'm just looking at Stack Overflow. All right, just give me a post on what's going on, like when Brew update issues.
Yeah, I just finished. My bad. This is Wally. I just brew updated, and I'm in the same place as Hisham too.
Okay.
So-
Okay. So step one, I'm gonna just slack this out in the main channel. We're going to. This is like a hard restart. So when Postgres runs, it creates this file. So just try and delete it, and then do brew services. Every time you do something, do stop, and then start. So do stop, do start, and then try and log in the PSQL shell. So those are like the 3 steps every time you try something new. Just because like homebrew sometimes like doesn't restart right.
Cool. So we should copy and paste this into our command line, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then stop, brew services, stop, Postgres, brew services, start.
Stop. And then we're gonna do brew services start. Okay, so now I'm gonna do brew services ls, right? Or
Yeah,
should I
see
do-
if it's brew services ls, see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is for Postgres still saying there's an error. I'm gonna do ps. I mean, it's probably not.
Oh yeah, that most likely won't work.
Yeah, same thing for me. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. Don't be sorry. This always happens. So
Let me see security.
Hey, Weston, is there any way that they could possibly do like a brew upgrade just for Postgres?
yeah, that's actually a good idea. That is a good idea. So I was reading on, yeah, some people are doing that on Stack Overflow. Y'all did update, not upgrade, right?
Yeah, I did update.
Running upgrade right now.
I'm gonna do.
Ready.
I'll do brew upgrade too.
Cool.
Upgrade.
Yeah, give that a shot.
Oh, still error. Sorry.
Try this. Alex, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I have PSQL 13.4. Does that work?
Did your shell open? Your PSQL shell?
I think so. Yeah, it just says my name and then equals #. or
Mhm.
hashtag?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're good to go. Y'all homebrewers on Mac, try that one. Kean, I see your hand up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not getting the right password, so I'm probably gonna have to uninstall and reinstall, or I
All right.
tried searching on Google for a way to reset passwords. It seems a little bit complicated.
Yeah. Katie, do you think you could take Kean into a breakout and do the install fest, the Windows install fest with him? I think it's in our org. Who knows? Katie gone. Oh, when Katie gets back, if we're not done here.
Okay.
Hey, what? Sorry, I was away for the past minute. So, are we updating something right now? Are we updating the Postgres?
No, just chill. You can like take 5 or something. We're just gonna get this sorted out.
It worked for me, Weston. Good luck. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Yeah, after that upgrade, everything is Gucci.
Nice.
Thank
What
you.
about you,
Wait,
Wally?
you did the, my bad, Hisham, you did the brew upgrade and then you did that, you ran that brew Postgres upgrade, right?
Yeah, brew Postgres upgrade database.
Uh-huh.
And it puts it in.
I'm still doing the regular brew upgrade though. It's like taking mad long on my computer. So once I'm done with that, then I'll do that.
Yeah, y'all. Everyone who doesn't have a bug right now, y'all can take 5. If you want to go stretch and enjoy the fresh air, get some tea, do some push-ups. I don't know how y'all done breaks. Run around the block.
Hey, Weston,
Yeah.
can I ask you a quick question since we're
Uh-huh.
still doing this?
Yeah.
Why does this is like not the first time I've had like issues with like a database? Like, why is it always with databases? Everything else is light. Just
know.
databases is a headache.
Yeah, it's a pain. And so, I mean, databases, they have like a lot of different components going on. Particularly like you have to have authenticated connections to them, even on localhost. So they can be just a pain to set up, and they always want permissions to places on Macs where like, like I think it was Catalina didn't have root permissions on all the files, so then none of the databases would install. So yeah, I agree. There, it's just annoying.
I've also seen people use what is it like? There's like GUIs for certain databases, like for Mongo and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. I just my brew Postgres update work. I mean, it's done. I'm gonna do the start and then stop.
cool.
Thanks, Boo.
Yeah, and if not, use the command to like update the database type. I'm looking through the install fest. Well, I still have more tricks up my sleeve if just updating doesn't work.
Cool. And then I'm gonna do brew something ls. Brew services ls. Okay, that's good. And then we do PSQL, right? That's it.
Yeah. PSQL.
Yep, good to go. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
sick.
so much.
Nice. Okay, so Kian, you're up. I'm looking at the
Okay, good to go. Or ready, I mean.
ready. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So these are the instructions. I'm gonna slack them in the form. These are from the install fest from way back when.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. We need to, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick. We need to let's see, we need to uninstall it. Yeah, can you go to your like your like Windows add remove programs in the control panel and find Postgres. It's PostgreSQL.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just gonna remove it.
Okay, I found a PostgreSQL 13.
That's cool. Yeah, that's one.
780 megabytes. Okay. All right, I'll install.
Okay, so can you go to program files and then just delete the Postgres full folder in your, it might be under x86, it might be under like just regular program files.
I missed the last 10 seconds of what you were saying. Sorry.
Oh, just go to your, you need to find your program files. You know how on Windows there's the x86 and then the regular one. So go look in those and find Postgres, like in the application folder itself.
Okay, wait, so I'm still I need to uninstall though, right?
Oh yeah, uninstall. Sorry, my
Okay.
bad.
All right, no,
Yeah.
sorry, I was still it like blanked out when I pressed that. Okay.
For sure.
Entire application. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it should be like usually there's 2 program files.
It looks like it's got to load a bit.
That's cool. Yeah, take your time.
Sorry about that. I guess this account I didn't record.
No, it's all good. I mean, we kind of had some, like, if you look at the calendar for today, we had some extra time anyways. So,
okay.
Yeah, this happens every time.
Looks like it's about a third the way uninstalled.
Cool.
Okay, it looks like uninstallation completed.
All right, so go find the Postgres folder in program files. Might be under like the x86 folder or just regular program files. Go find it and delete it.
Okay. Now if I just search that like in quick access or something, would it show up?
Maybe. I mean, it would be located on your C drive, I think, and then maybe like a Windows folder or something.
Okay. I'm searching Postgres in the C drive. Looks like it's loading to find it. Would you like for me to share screen or?
No, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to delete all the data because if it contains some data about like a password, for example, like the data has to be removed as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just open like, I'm trying to remember Windows. Okay, so like on the left-hand side of Explorer,
Mhm.
There's the like my computer, and under my computer, there's C drive. And then it
Yeah.
would be C drive, program files, Postgres.
Okay. I searched in the C drive. It's currently loading. Next I can, if it doesn't show anything, I can do it manually.
Sure.
It's never spent this long searching for a file though, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, the C drive contains everything on your computer, so
Mhm.
might be better just to go find it.
Okay, it's almost done doing the load. Hopefully any moment now. Should I just cut off the search and manually go for it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm in C. Then would I go into users?
Program files.
Program files, okay.
And now you can go down to P. It should be a Postgres.
Okay, I found PostgreSQL, yeah.
Yeah, delete that.
Delete the whole Postgres.
Yeah, get rid of the whole folder.
And sec.
Yeah, delete that whole thing.
All right, it's in the process. All right, that's gone.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to slack out these instructions for reinstalling Postgres.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's get to the good part. Oh, yeah, I'm still sharing my screen. Hold on, wait, I'm confused. Part 1. Okay, so go to the download page, which looks like this, and you're going to want to download it for Windows.
Okay.
It's probably be like 500 megabytes. Might take a little while.
Okay, I'm assuming do the 14.2 version.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I think that's newer than my version. I think you have to add it to the path after you install it. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, we do.
All right, it's downloading.
Cool. Yeah, then you just have to install it.
Okay.
Double click it, install it. I feel like there might be some. Wait, let me check. Let me check the Git book. It's like there's a note about the options, and I think it's just don't touch the options. Yeah. So this is where you're going to enter the password.
Okay. I've got the setup up now, so I'll go through the setup.
Yeah, go through the setup, enter a password you can remember, and you'll have to use that to log into PSQL.
Okay. Just hitting next. Next. Okay.
Oh yeah, do not change the port. Yeah, that's it. Just let me know when you're finished configuring it.
Yep, just using that password I've got for other stuff for the class. So don't change the port.
Do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then select the locale to be used by the new database cluster.
Yeah, just leave everything the same.
Default, okay. All right, it's loading now. Installing, I mean.
Cool.
Almost halfway. All right, installed, hit and finish.
Cool.
Then
So-
select the installation you're installing. Okay, do that next. All right, just I'm at a spot where it says you must select at least one package to install before you continue, or
Does it say like PG admin or something?
no. It says the wizard will help you install additional software to complement your Postgres PSQL or Enterprise DB Postgres Plus installation to begin. Select the installation you are installing software for from the list below. So there's remote server. I click on PostgreSQL 14.
Yeah.
Continue next, and then it shows download application list, and then I'm supposed to select either add-ons to, I guess.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. I had hit next, and then it said I had to select one of these, or
Please select applications you'd like to install, database drivers. Yeah. Yeah, that's good, right? All of them? Yeah, everything, right?
does it automatically adds them all? Let's see. You must select at least one package to install before you continue. Is that I
Can you
got
click on database drivers?
okay, this guy, right?
I have no idea.
Click them all.
Sure. Only one? You only can click one? Definitely click those. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and then what does it say about database server? Actually, oh, wait, can you just click the one that says installed next to it?
This guy, right?
Yeah, that's cool. And go to the other ones and uncheck them.
Okay, these guys.
Yeah, I don't want that stuff. I just wanted to download and it's like forever.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, so you can go next. That's cool.
It's like this might take a bit, so
Yeah, you don't have the screenshot. It'll probably speed up your download speed.
stop sharing.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
probably go faster, I bet.
Looks like it.
Next.
Man, sorry guys. Sorry everyone. But we're not falling behind on time, are we, Weston?
No, it's a
No,
good break. It's a good break, bro.
Yeah,
I'm taking
next
one
lesson-
for
next lesson is supposed to start at 7:15 or 7:30 or something. So we have plenty of time to debug
Okay.
installations.
And because of you, I just bought like 2 pairs of shoes and a keyboard. Thanks, bro.
right. Helping the economy. All right. Let's see. Everything's been successfully downloaded. Okay, next button to start the installations. There we go. There was an option to skip installation, but we don't want that. All right, now I'm in the setup wizard. Next. Please ensure the PG admin server shut down before proceeding with the upgrade. I'm not sure what would that just,
Can you share your
what
screen?
that mean? Okay.
Okay. Do you know that little arrow with all of like the open programs down at the bottom? It's like the arrow on the taskbar or whatever it's called. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have like a PG admin thing running?
That I know of.
No, that's cool. Can you Control Shift Escape?
Control Shift Escape.
Okay, cool. More details. And yeah, processes. Here we go. Do we have PG? That's fine. That's the installation. Do we have PG admin here somewhere? No.
Check background.
Yeah. HIJKLMNO PQRS. I don't see no
Okay.
PG admin. No, that's
Let's
fine.
Just try hitting OK. See. And
Oh,
then,
was that just like an information like pop-up? Cool.
I guess so. All right, I'll stop sharing again.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, once it finishes installing, you can I just have to add it to your path and then we can test it.
Okay. It seems like this is gonna take a bit as well. I was hoping that initial installation was all, but
That's cool. We got time. Even if it takes another 10-15 minutes, like we'll still be ahead on time.
all right. You can keep shopping while.
Thanks,
I should
dude.
go. I wanna go
Alex
buy
is having an
keyboard.
error when she just upgraded. Do you want to check that out too?
I'm sorry, what?
Alex is having an error when she just tried upgrading
Tried upgrading what?
PSQL.
Nobody should be upgrading anything.
Well, because she had version 3.4 or 13.4, excuse me.
Okay, so what's it? Is there a screen grab somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the study hall channel.
Hey, Wes, I have 13.42. Should I upgrade this or can I leave it alone?
No, nobody upgrade anything.
Yeah, I mean, I said like it might be a good idea because I was having issues when I was using version 13, but that upgrading fixed. But if it's not working anymore, can revert back.
That was the same error that
Yeah.
Wally
I can
was
share my
having.
I can share my screen if you want me to.
What I'd like you to do is run the command I'm going to select you.
Katie, I just responded to you on the channel as well. Okay. Weston, I just ran that command that you slacked out, and it looks like it's downloading a bunch of stuff.
Cool. Afterwards, stop the service, start it, and then try to enter the PSQL shell again.
Okay.
Keen, is yours still working?
I'm still loading here, still installing. Looks like there's a 6th left or so.
Okay, I think it mine updated to 14.2.
Cool, looks good.
All right, thank you.
All right, Weston, something weird happened. It brought me back to where we were before. It's like I reinstalled it. to back to where it would show the database drivers and the database server. And I'm looking at the other area where I had said to go through it, but I'm a little bit confused myself.
Yeah, let's just share up your screen. So
All right, doing that again. So I'm back here again. We had selected this guy and only this guy, right?
okay, so can you just like close this thing?
This one.
Yeah, just close it.
So this is the one that had just popped up
Yeah, that's
after.
fine.
Okay.
Just close it. Yeah.
Then.
And then you're gonna have to restart.
Okay.
Yeah, just restart and come back.
All right.
Yeah, I think that was like, oh, there you go.
Then Weston,
Hey,
should I be good now to run those commands in Bash?
no. So what you need to do is you need to add the program to the path. So open up a Windows Explorer and right click on this PC or my PC or whatever.
Okay.
And you need to select properties.
All right, properties on this PC.
You need to select advanced system settings.
Okay.
Then you need to click on then you need to click on system properties, or what does yours look like?
I got system protection.
And go to advanced.
Or I'm in advanced, sorry. I'm
Okay.
I'm exactly there, yeah.
And then go to environmental variables.
Okay.
Locate system variables, scroll to path and click edit.
All right, I'm on path. I hit edit.
You need to click on new. And you need to add Postgres, whatever version you just did, bin.
Okay.
Was it 14 you installed?
Yes, I did 14. So how exactly should I type it in? Does capitals matter
Like that.
or sorry, I can't see where he types.
Oh, I just selected that on the
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take this guy. All right, then hit OK.
Yep.
All right, got that added.
Now open Git Bash. A new Git Bash has to be a new Git Bash window.
Okay, like would I opened it up again after restarting.
Yeah, if you have an open one, you need to close it.
And then I CD'd into the file, the SQL.
That's cool. Yeah,
Okay.
just test this command, PSQL
Okay.
dash capital U Postgres.
And
It's gonna ask
the
you for the password.
branch doesn't matter, right?
No.
Okay. All right. PSQL. Let's try it again. Capital U, right?
Mhm.
Getting
Problems.
command not found.
Can you open up PowerShell and do it?
But I just I'll try one more time in Bash because I was getting it before. But I get CD.
Can you try it in PowerShell?
Yes, I can. All right, yeah. And okay, Windows PowerShell opening up. All right, I'm in PowerShell. PSQL space hyphen capital U space Postgres. Enter. The term PSQL is not recognized as the name of a.
Okay, yeah, it didn't work. So can you check your Postgres folder and your program files and double check that it's 14 that you installed?
Yes, I can.
There should be a folder called like 14.
All right, and that would be in the C drive program files. Postgres. Yep, I see 14.
It's just 14.
Just says 14.
Oh shit, because I slacked you 13. You put the wrong one in the path. You have to go edit it.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to go back to where the path was and put it 14.
Okay.
bad.
No worries. Okay, I see. Then edit. So just 14.
Hmm.
Okay, and then I can try the same commands in Bash, right?
Yeah, make a new bash window though.
Okay.
it has to like, it reads the path when it loads.
Mhm. And sorry, what was the command again?
PSQL space dash U.
Space,
Right there.
and then Postgres. Not found.
This is a new window,
Yeah.
and you added.
Yeah, in the system variables, the path, I changed, yeah, where it showed /13 /bin, I changed it 13 to bin.
Did you save it?
Let's,
Yeah, go check your environmental variables again.
real, okay. I'll share screen. So here, environment variables,
Yeah.
then it was
Path.
this guy, right?
Yeah, edit.
Edit. I accidentally added this guy. I'll delete that.
Okay, that looks right. Postgres
here's-
14 bin. Yeah. Yeah, it looks okay. Right. And so
Try again.
oh my goodness. Okay, so can you just go in your file explorer to that Postgres folder?
This is it.
Yeah, that's right. No, go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you double click on the like file path up there? OFC program files PostgreSQL that. Double click on it.
Double click this guy.
No. Double click like where there's not words.
Okay.
Program files Postgres. Program files. Okay, yeah, that's right. So go into 14. There's the bin. Wait, can you go into bin? Is there a PSQL thing in here?
This guy.
Yeah, there it is. What happens when you double click it? That would be the password you created.
All right. So then just put in through here.
Hmm.
Okay. Just gonna double check it. Hit enter.
Yeah.
Go in there.
Oh, that's in PowerShell. Did it open PowerShell for you?
No, it didn't. I was just Xing out of the thing before.
Did it just close when you pressed return?
I think so.
Hmm.
Try again.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's the right password.
Yep. Wrote it down here. Try it again.
No, it's fine. Okay, do you have PG admin?
I'm not
In here?
sure.
In this folder. Something called PG admin.
Let's see. Don't see anything over here.
In your start menu, you have something called PG admin. Be under PostgreSQL. Yeah, it would be under there. If you unfold
Okay.
that folder.
This guy.
Oh, SQL shell right there.
Sorry, which one?
SQL shell. It's at the bottom.
Okay, this guy.
Oh, it's just the same thing.
I don't remember seeing localhost, but
That's fine. Just trying to enter your credentials.
okay.
Is this not the same? I think it's,
Is this password?
just try and return. If it works, I don't know. I don't know what this thing is. You can use, okay, so I don't know what to tell you about your PSQL shell.
Okay.
Maybe you can go open up PG admin.
All right.
use
So X
that.
out of this guy, right?
Yeah, I don't know what this thing is.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. So go back to your start menu, go to PG admin.
All right. And that was under, I clicked in here, right?
Yeah, go to PG admin.
This guy.
Huh?
I'll stop sharing while it loads, or
Well, hopefully this works.
it's weird that this time it's not even, because before in Git Bash I was at least getting the ability to put in the password.
And that is a new Git bash window. Can you echo path, echo money sign path in all caps?
All right. Oh,
Echo space. No, echo is lowercase.
Okay.
Echo space money sign.
Money
Path in all
sign,
caps.
like
Money
that.
sign.
Oh, not bad.
Path. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Return. Does that have Postgres on there? It should be on there somewhere.
It looks like it is like on the second to last, well, third to last row.
Yeah, I don't know why PSQL is not working. It's in your path. Wait, does that say 13 or 14?
It says 13.
Here it shows 13.
Okay, yeah, close this and reopen it. Yeah, that's the problem. It needs to be 14.
All right, should I do the echo again?
No, just do PSQL
All
and
right.
return.
I got to go into the
No, just do PSQL right here. You don't have to go anywhere.
PSQL.
Yeah, return.
Okay.
Sick. Okay, Control C.
Oh, no password.
Control C. Yeah, just do Control C. Okay, now PSQL. Yeah, dash uppercase U.
Okay.
I think that just wasn't a fresh terminal, and then Postgres. Yeah.
I swear I did it, but I guess not. All right, answer. Okay.
Cool. Okay, yeah, this is gonna work. Sick. Okay. Backslash
Ooh.
Q to quit.
All right.
Nice.
I was getting nervous there. Thank
I
you.
was just gonna tell you to use PG admin. I was like, you're gonna have to figure out PG admin.
You weren't going to tell me to just leave the class. Huh?
No. PG admin is like a GUI app that's like useful to your own, but we're gonna use a shell for it.
Okay. All right. So
yeah,
now
no, I'm glad that worked.
Now more other Windows people are.
Yeah.
right.
You want to CD back to the folder where we're at. You can run the PSQL shell from anywhere though.
All right. So then should I hit enter where I am, where it's just Postgres equals hash?
Oh, hit backslash Q.
All right.
Backslash Q return.
Backslash Q.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Sweet.
And then where do I want to go? Sorry.
To wherever you clone the lesson.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you.
a break.
Thank you very much, Wes.
Yeah, let's all take a break. Yeah, so back at 6:40. All right, y'all. Sorry about the hold up. I'm just going to give everyone a second to hop back on so we can talk about SQL. Sorry, I don't know how to do time math. I'm glad y'all figured it out. Okay, y'all. So we're going to talk about SQL. This thing that has been mentioned, it has been hinted at, foreshadowed for quite some time now. SQL, structured query language. SQL is a type of database similar to Mongo, but there are some very, very marked differences. And we're going to be discussing the differences between SQL and Mongo as we go. Now, Mongo is like an actual database, right? It's a database, and it's in a category called NoSQL. SQL itself is a category, and we're going to be using Postgres in class. Postgres is one of the oldest databases that's still in production today. It's a descendant of Ingress. Ingress was developed in Berkeley in the 1980s. It was closed source, and it was open sourced by a development team. In the 80s, I want to actually, you can GitHub Postgres. You can actually go look at the README, or not the README, but the, so I'm just like saying the words I see on screen. You can actually look at the source code if you like. It's written predominantly in the C programming language. It is pretty old school. So Postgres is a type of SQL database. Structured query language itself is kind of similar to JavaScript in that it describes a behavior, and there are some different implementations of it. So we're going to be using Postgres. Postgres is one of the like most feature-rich implementations of SQL. It does everything, and it does it really well. There's also another popular type of SQL that you may have heard of is MySQL. MySQL came about in the 90s. It's real feature-rich like Postgres. It's closed source. And there's SQLite. SQLite is like SQL. It's kind of like slimmed down. Instead of the idea between SQLite is instead of being like Postgres or MySQL, instead of having all the features, it kind of just has some of the features, like the really specific ones. And it's just a little bit like, it's like a slimmed down version of SQL. There's kind of like pros and cons when it comes to SQL. We have been using Mongo up until this point, but if you look at like developer polls and app polls, you will find that the top 5 most used databases are SQL dialect with some kind of NoSQL. It's MongoDB coming in 5th as the most used. Typically, when you go to figure out what kind of database you're going to be using for your app, it's not a discussion of SQL versus Mongo. It's typically a discussion of what kind of SQL you're going to be used, although Mongo does have its use cases today. Probably around 10% of databases in production are Mongo. You might be discussing like Postgres, for example, is most fast when you have an API that needs to do creating and updating queries. So it's faster at creating and updating things, but MySQL outperforms Postgres when it comes to reading. So if you just have an API that's read-only, you might go as MySQL, but if you have like a social media platform, you might be storing, you might be using Postgres where people are creating and updating things. It's not entirely uncommon to use both. Postgres alongside Mongo. Sometimes user data is stored in Mongo, and then other relational data will be stored with SQL. So SQL, it is a relational data. Now, the thing about Mongo and SQL is they've been cross-pollinating for some time now. So there's less of a distinction when it comes to SQL and Mongo in 2022. You know, Mongo handles relational data, right? There was a time when it didn't. And there's a time where Mongo would outperform SQL on certain queries. And then around 2014, well, MySQL used to be most popular in the late 90s and early aughts. And Postgres was one of the first SQL databases to implement a JSON-B and a binary JSON format, and it blew everyone's mind in 2014 thereabouts when Postgres JSON-B format actually outperformed MongoDB in terms of speed tests. So there's a fair bit of competition between them there, but there's also a lot of cross-pollination. If you haven't, it's the thing about data is it's relational. As we've experienced in our previous projects, You can't store everything in the user profile. Data is typically chained through models, right? Those models that we were using with Mongoose, they're actually in that structure was imposed on MongoDB by Mongoose. So Mongo is actually typically more unstructured. You don't have models, you don't have these model interfaces. SQL, on the other hand, has the sort of concept of a model in a table. So the database itself is structured. It's not imposed upon it by, you know, some like plugin like what we're using. Databases are often represented like this. So this is a database of relational data. These are tables. So in SQL, instead of it being called documents, they're called tables. So each one of these would be a table with some data in them. You have a teacher data with a relationship to students. This kind of relationship, the relationship between students, or I'm sorry, teachers and subjects. One teacher could, you know, supposedly could presumably teach many subjects. Like I teach intro to web development alongside software engineering immersives. So typically these are created in a SQL database. And when one table has a relationship to another, it stores a very small amount of information about that relationship. Typically, it's just a reference to the other ID. Mongo has adopted this, so y'all are familiar with refs. SQL IDs are integers. SQL, let's see, what else is important about SQL? So it handles relationships. SQL is what's called a statically typed programming language. And this is actually our first statically typed programming language in this class. And what that means is here where it says teacher ID integer, if you define a type, if you define a certain data to be a type in SQL, you cannot change it. So I could not put a string as the ID. That would cause an error. Here, varchar, the first name is varchar, that's variable characters. In SQL, that means you would specify the maximum length of a string. Like, so let's say it would say 100 characters. You can never make a string larger than 100 characters because you didn't create a place for it. SQL uses this to its advantage. And the way it does that is if SQL knows that it's going to be storing an integer is a finite size, right? Like there's a maximum number that can be represented as an integer, and SQL knows it. So when it goes to run its processes, it's able to predict exactly how much computer resources they will take because it's statically typed. It gives SQL an advantage when it comes to processing. That's one reason why it's so fast. It can require a little bit more planning, however. You can't, if you want to change the structure of your data, you can't just, like add another field to your database. You would have to go tell SQL, hey, I'm actually going to alter this table. I'm going to add, like let's say you wanted to add a phone number or an email address for the teacher, right? So you wanted the teachers to have email address. You'd have to go to SQL and give it a command, say, hey, I'm going to alter the teachers table to keep track of a email address, and that's going to be a varchar as well. We'll say maximum length 50 characters. Whereas in Mongo, you could just like put anything in anywhere that you felt like, and in Mongoose, you just needed to add it to your schema. Well, SQL, you'd have to give it a heads up to do that. Yeah, so that's kind of like the crash course differences between SQL and Mongo, what we're familiar with. SQL is referred to as a relational database management system. It's not, how like Mongo does everything. There's like Mongo Atlas, and that's how you deploy, and it's a product of Mongo. Well, every deployment configuration has their own kind of like SQL cloud, like AWS has their own SQL, Microsoft Azure has their own SQL. So it's just like a specification. It's not a single unified product. So I think if there's anything else, oh yeah, so we're going to be using Postgres. We're going to be using the PSQL terminal to interact with Postgres. It's kind of like the Mongo terminal, the Mongo shell, except it's SQL. And yeah, so we're going to be learning that. I feel like that's kind of all I want to say about SQL before we start slinging some queries. There's a lot of SQL database development jobs. And and typically like a SQL question might be asked at like if you're going to if you're going to be at a junior interview. Well, also, and I'll answer it in just a sec. But if you're going to like go to a full stack development job and they have a SQL database for a junior, they might ask you like 1 or 2 SQL query questions. I've encountered those a lot. I usually assume they're using SQL. If it doesn't specify, it's going to be Mongo in the job description. And it'll be something really easy. It'll be like look up all the users. It'll be like find all users, you know what I mean? Or, you know, like find all the users that have a phone number or something like that. Like some really simple query. And you'll get those too if there's Mongo engineers as well. You come across those too. Wally, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, like you mentioned something, but earlier about how in Mongo, how you can kind of just like you can update certain things like and add certain fields. And is like technically in our modal, we just like I mean, we did a lot in our projects where if we wanted to add one more field, we just go to our modal and then it updated the whole database. But you said in SQL, you can't do that, right? You have to do it like a different way.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're using raw SQL queries, you would actually have to run a command like, hey, you have to specify the table. You'd say, hey, I want to update my user table. I'm going to alter it and add what's called a column.
Okay, cool.
If you're using an ORM like Mongoose, usually they want to handle a management. So you'd have to run some commands like Sequelize is really popular to connect to Node. And Sequelize actually comes with a command line interface. So you'd have to run Sequelize commands and it would update the SQL database for you. The Prisma ORM is kind of similar. But what it does, it's a little smarter than Sequelize, and it kind of reads your model and then updates the database for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what kind of feels like the limitations when it comes to planning SQL are really what makes it like advantageous for its like read and write speed and storage space and stuff. It sort of uses the terseness of the database structure to its processing advantage. Yeah, so terminology, you're familiar with like documents and fields. Well, when it comes to SQL, you have database. A table is like a collection. So a table it's kind of like a Excel table or something. It's a set of predefined values. A row is a single entry into a table. So that would be like one single user you created would be a row. And a column is like one type of data. And when you create your tables, you have to think ahead and specify the kind of table and data you're going to create. So there's kind of, so CRUD is, those are the descriptions of the database actions. In SQL, you have insert to create, select to read, update to update, and delete to delete. The thing that we were fussing about with so much to get it installed when class was starting was the PSQL shell. Now, the PSQL shell is something that can be run from anywhere. And most of the time, it doesn't matter where you run it. You can just type PSQL and it like finds the program that is this shell and it runs it for you. And just like Z shell, gives us low level access to the SQL database. You can also import files and also import commands from files. So then it kind of matters where you open the shell because you have to give relative paths to import stuff. But I'm here in the training in the trainings folder in the SQL repo, we call it down. So we're going to do some data importing. We're also going to run some command. We're going to type commands straight into the SQL shell just so you can get a sense of like what it's like to program and need the semicolons, because you need semicolons in SQL. And I didn't mean to do that. And yeah, and then we're going to write some queries and I lost my train of thought. write some queries, and create some databases. That's what we're going to do. So everyone, I just want y'all to navigate to where you cloned down the lesson and type in PSQL. If you're on your other systems that aren't Mac, you have to type in the appropriate thing. I think on Windows, it's -U Postgres, and on Linux, it's that or something. So I'm going to press return. And this is the PSQL shell. So this is the shell that's specific to Postgres. We can run SQL commands, and there's also some Postgres specific SQL. Now there's two kinds of commands in this shell. There's the Postgres shell commands that they were doing some shell thing. And then there's a raw SQL query. Postgres shell commands all start with a backslash. So the first one that we should learn is /?. And what this does is it opens up the help for the shell. Actually, I'm going to show that real quick. I want to make this full screen. I'm going to do it like this. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Hold on. There we go. Okay, so I'm here in my PSQL shell, and I'm going to do /. So this is all of the shell commands that you can run. You can even get more information about a specific command if you want to supply that. Import is really useful. We can use this to import SQL commands. We'll use that. Let's see. There is so much you can do in this shell. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, listing. We'll do some listing. Yeah. So if you ever need help, you can come in here. Oh, /x. This can control how the data is displayed. So we'll probably use that command at some point. And you can even run Z shell commands from here by prefacing them with /, whatever that thing is, ! Yeah. Yeah, so these are the PSQL shell commands for this dialect of SQL. And if I say /H, this is going to give me a list of all of the available SQL commands, so raw SQL database queries that this shell supports. There are quite a few of them, and they're on all capitals. So here you can see that it's like, what do you call it? Like, not traditional, it's a coding convention to put SQL commands in all capitals and values in lowercase. You don't have to, so some people don't, but I'm going to keep that convention for this lesson, and that's why all of these are in capitals. So there are quite a few of these. As you can see, you can press Q to get out of this. And if you say /H, and then let's say select, for example, so this is a read query, if you remember. If we say /H select and press return, it gives us some information about select. And there are quite a few of these. I'm not even familiar with all of them myself. SQL it gets pretty deep. But it actually doesn't take much to be able to get like a junior entry-level SQL database job. If you're able to do like basic CRUD, maybe some nested queries and conditions and aggregate functions, and you just have a teeny bit of set theory experience, you're pretty much good to go. And we'll be there by the end of this lesson. I just hit Q to get out of that. So you can check out insert. So these are all the available. And W, I just want to like, where do you go to learn this stuff? You can hit Q to get out of it if you want. So where do you go to learn this stuff? So W3 Schools has a pretty good tutorial just on like plain. I'm just Googling it right now so I can show you. So W3 Schools has some pretty good. All right, this is full screen. So this is pretty good. The SQL tutorial, it's just w3schools.com/SQL. Yeah, there's pretty much all the stuff you could ever, your heart could ever desire to learn. You could even tinker with SQL like in the browser. And once you get comfortable with SQL and you want to start challenging yourself with some SQL queries, I have some resources I can provide you. Like there's some games you can play, some repos you can learn with, but also like LeetCode, for example. They have SQL query challenges that can get quite challenging. All right. So here in the PSQL shell, you're just gonna have to get used to using the SQL like shell. It can be kind of terse. You can get stuck in like quotes and stuff. So you know, it'll take a second to acclimate. Right now, the way this works is it has your username. My username is void. An equals sign means it's waiting for a command, and then a hashtag, that is the prompt. So it's current database, then the status of the command, and then the prompt is a hashtag. So if I do \L, this is short for list. So you can say L or list. L is going to show us all the databases available to us. I have advanced, book down, movie lesson, and then some other stuff, just because incidentally, I was teaching SQL lessons yesterday and today in the morning class that I have. So so I might have some that you don't, but you should probably have like a few that are related to you know, just SQL, like being freshly installed, like template and Postgres, and then a username that you can connect to. If you're on Windows, you probably won't have some of those. Okay, so let's make a database. Let's make a SQL database together. There's a few database commands. The main ones I use are create and drop. Create will create us a database, and drop will delete a database. So in all capitals, this is a raw SQL query. I'm going to say create database. So those are two SQL commands, and that's why they're in all capitals. And then I'm going to supply the name of the database that I'd like to create. So let's just call this, oh, the other thing is do not ever camel case. Don't camel case this, like just experimenting because you like camel casing. SQL don't like camel casing. You have to do special tricks to camel case. So don't camel case. Let's just call this like intro _831. So don't camel case that, use an underscore. You can camel case in SQL, but you have to do some fancy stuff. It's annoying, not good for beginners. So I added a semicolon, and that's how you know the command. That's how SQL knows the command is ending. Derek, what's up?
No, my bad.
You good?
Yeah, it was an accident.
Oh yeah, for sure. So SQL commands are in capital. So create database, two SQL commands. Intro 831 is the value we're passing in, and it ends with a semicolon. That's how SQL knows the command has ended. If you don't put a semicolon, it doesn't know the line ends. It's old school like that. So if I press return, it should give me some feedback. Create database. Did everyone see a create database?
I got an issue here. I put create database intro _ 831 semicolon, and it's saying error, syntax error at or near quotations /?
Okay, so you had some command. It thought you were in the middle of a command. So what I want you to do is just do create database again, semicolon. Derek, what's up?
I was just going to ask if you don't, you know, put the semicolon, does it cause an issue, or is it just kind of like not know what to do?
So I just pressed return, and my equal sign turned to a dash. It's actually rating me for to issue additional commands. Oh. So a new line means nothing to SQL. Like in JavaScript, a new line means like, oh, hey, like this is a terminating statement. New line means nothing to SQL. Semicolon means statements terminating. If I do a semicolon now and press return, it tries to run it, but it says, hey, it already exists. So it did try to run the command after I did semicolon return.
But so if you hadn't already created it, and then you did those two lines with adding the semicolon after, it would create one? Okay. Yeah,
create database, create database, return value, banana _ example, return like 50 times, semicolon, and then it created it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so it just processed all those new lines. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like the command's still going. He's thinking about what he wants to do. Misha.
So does it do it that way for when we get to like where and order by?
Yep, exactly.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
That's exactly why it does it. In fact, let's so we haven't connected to our database yet, but like literally the first command we're going to run to create a table is going to be multi-line. So everybody should have an equals sign now. If you don't have an equals sign, you should do a semicolon, press return. If you have, this is 100% examples, please don't do this. I just want to show you what might happen. If you have a quote, it turns into a quote. So what it's saying is you need to close the quote. So I close the quote. If I have an open expression, it turns into an open expression. It says you need to close the expression. And then determine, and now it's a dash because it thinks I'm in the middle of a command. That means it's waiting for a semicolon. So then I give it a semicolon, and then it says, I don't know what quote parentheses means. So now if we do \L, I've created a intro underscore 831. And I also have created a banana example. What I'd like to do is \connect, or for short, you can just say C, and then the database you'd like to connect to. Mine is intro 831. It kind of has semi-smart tab autocomplete. That's sort of smart. So / commands that are to the PSQL shell do not need semicolons. Do not put semicolons after them. Only SQL queries and SQL commands need them. So there's that distinction, shell commands versus SQL command. So I'm going to press return, and it tells me I'm now connected to the database intro 831 as void. And you can see that it shows the database that I'm connected to. So this database would be like the whole database for a whole app. It's going to contain all the tables, all the data, everything. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to, well, was everyone able to connect? I know the PSQL shell can be fuzzy, so just let me know if you get stuck on a quote or something weird happens, just let me know. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So we need to create a table. Well, actually, before we do, if I do \describe tables, DT, it says it does not find any relations. So that means no tables exist here, \describe tables. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to create a table. And the way create table works is you say create table, table name, and then a parentheses, all the columns you would like to create. So let's just create a students table for practice. And I need to open up an expression. So this is going to be a comma separated list of columns and data types to store. So I'm going to press return, and I'm going to have to close this quote and give it a semicolon. You can see I'm in the middle of the quote right now. So I'm going to create the table of students. And now we want them to have an ID. Every table needs to have an ID. And what the idea is, it's like Mongo. It's like the user. It's like the identifier ID. But we're just going to have it be a integer. There's a special type called serial primary key in SQL. So what we do is we say the name of the column and then the data type. Serial primary key. And so what a serial primary key is every time a new, it's a special data type that has a function associated with it. So SQL does functions. And when we create a new student, this function will be invoked and the ID will increment starting at 1, counting up to max safe integer type, which is like a 9 bajillion or something. I'm going to put a comma because there's a comma separated list. Matt, what's up?
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but is this similar to how like MongoDB automatically creates IDs?
Yes, it is. And cool. These are going to be integers. Now you can make a hash as a SQL ID. It is a non-trivial process because what you have to do is like make a hash function that accounts for collisions never happening. So everything has a unique ID. You have to, well, that's all you have to do, but that's hard. So pretty much like the vast majority of databases, the SQL databases just have an integer ID. It doesn't really pose, it seems like it might pose a security issue, but it doesn't. SQL does have some security issues, specifically SQL injection, which is like, if you manage to get a raw SQL query into a database field, SQL will try and run it. as a embedded expression, and you can actually like do data dumps that way and other unauthorized access. But just having the integer known like doesn't pose that much of a security risk. The reason being, when you connect to a database, you have to have an SSH key. So like, yeah, that is mainly it. Okay, so I'm gonna press, yeah, sorry, hopefully that was helpful. I kind of rambled about stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna press return, and oh, that was on return on Slack, my bad. I'm gonna press return. Nope, not backspace. So comma return. And so let's say a student has a name. Now we're going to use the text data type. This is a data type that can be a string of any length. So text name, student will have a name, and student will have a phone number. Let's use a varchar. Now, the reason why we're using a varchar is because we can optimize the phone number to be a very specific length. We don't necessarily know how long their name is. They can have an extremely long name. That's fine. But the phone number, it's never going to be more than like 14, 15, maybe 16 characters. So let's just say varchar 15. And so it's going to optimize this data type to be a variable character of 15, of a length of 15. It cannot exceed 15, however. So I'm going to press return. And we'll just do an email of like text. And that's it. I'm going to press return again. I'm going to close my parentheses, and I'm going to put a semicolon.
No, Weston, does it make a difference that you made email text lowercase?
No. Oh, my bad. Sorry. No, it does not. The SQL was going to respect this. I just accidentally did that on accident. It's best practice to keep it capital. I like to. I'm going to do it during this lesson. If y'all's bugged out, there you go. Okay, it said create table, gave me this feedback. Did anyone get a create table? Yeah. This is so great teaching this lesson in unit 4. Usually like I teach it in unit 2 and like everyone's like, oh my God. Ah. Okay, so now we can check that it's there. So we can use describe table again, just like before when it said did not find any relations right here. We can say describe table and it tells us there is a students table right here. So we can ask for more specific information with \D. So, and this stands for describe. So describe, and then the table name, students. Okay, so I'm gonna press return. And so this tells us the column name. So here it says column ID, name text, it went in just fine. Phone has a varchar type and email is a text. Alex, what's up?
So I closed the parentheses and added a semicolon to create the table, but it says, it gave me an error. It didn't create the table.
What did it say?
It says type varchar does not exist.
Oh yeah, I think you misspelled varchar. So I slacked out the forum, the command to create the table. You can just paste that straight in and it'll do it after you press enter.
Okay. Just the varchar. I wouldn't have to like do all the entries all over again.
No, just paste in what I slacked out.
Okay.
Yeah, just like this. Oh, I'm sorry. No, don't. Not all that extra bullshit. Hold on. Like that. Alex, like this. It won't let me do it. It'll throw an error for me. But yeah, you'll be able to do it just like that. All right, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna do CRUD. Let's just do some student CRUD. We got insert, select, all that stuff. Okay, so insert means is create in SQL. So the way you insert is you say insert into, and this is the SQL command. This command goes insert into table students. You can do these all on one line or not. I'm just gonna I'm just going to press return here. Now you specify the columns you want to create. So you don't have to create the ID. You can, but it'll screw things up, so don't. So you don't have to create the ID, but let's do name, phone, email. So here we just say name, with the actual name of the column, phone, email, close the parentheses. So we say the columns, insert into students columns, and then values. Now we say the values for each columns in this order that we specified, in the order we specified, right? So Misha, you're on top of my left quarter. I'm going to add you to the database. So Misha, read. So that's name. So this lines up with this value right here. So name, and then phone is, I can't exceed 15 characters. 1-800. Call Misha. Is that more than 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Oh no, get rid of these. It'll throw an error. It'll throw a validation error if I try and add more. Cool. Email. Oh, I'm sorry, I pressed return. So it shows me I'm in the middle. I didn't mean to press return. It shows me I'm in the middle of command. I have to keep going. I have to do the email. If you accidentally press return in the middle of quotes or a string, you just have to finish it and keep going. So email will be misha@coders.com. And that can be of any length. And then I have to close the parentheses and add a semicolon. And I press return, and it says inserted 0. So this is like a internal table identifier, and then how many got inserted. So you can actually make this all pretty on one line like this if you want. That works too. If you want to insert someone else. And it should say insert 0, 1. So you could also do it all in one line like this. I can just like this out if y'all had any bugs, also for posterity's sake. So let's update this. Add someone else. Jonia, you were after Misha in my Zoom window. So Joe, so you get it featured in the lesson. I want to spell your name right in an IA. Jonia, 1-800 call Jonia. And is it okay if you and Misha have worked together at coders.com? That's where y'all are getting hired after class. So Jonia, cool. So we've added a few things. We could also bulk insert by putting a comma after here and adding more values. So if this will add more than when Junia. Let's add a few more. So we're creating Kian. This will be 1-800 call Kian. Y'all are just gonna start a startup after this. I'm pretty sure. And so we can do a comma separated list of values here. So I'm just going to do comma return parentheses Derek, and this will be 1-500. Derek, you have a 1-500 number. Call Derek, and Derek at super cool kids. I don't know. You're getting a different job there. Supercoolkids.com. Cool. So this is a comma separated list. It's how you do like a bulk insert. And I forgot a comma. So you need to do a comma, and you can just press up to get your last command. And now it tells me you inserted in 2 at a time. So it doesn't matter what you put in there. Just put in some information into your database, into your students table. So hopefully I'll have some information in your students table. It's okay if you have like 2 or 3. So So let's read some stuff from the database. So what you say is you say select, I'll read, select columns, comma separated list. So we can say like ID and name and email. So you say a comma separated list of columns, and you say from, and then the table. So it's a select columns from table. Hey, well, don't forget your semicolon there. And here, if you just say select star, that selects all. Derek, what's up?
I was just going to ask with the select, I'm assuming that it just only grabs the stuff that we specify to it, and then it just leaves everything out that we don't.
Yeah. So we have to use we're going to get to that. We have to use a where clause to select only a certain rows, entries into the database.
Okay, cool.
So if I say select star, this gets all columns. Select all columns from students, press return. Now we have all the column data. So we have email now too. We have, oh no, Derek, I spelled your phone number wrong. Well, we'll use that for the update query. Now, if we only wanted to select one, so we'll say select all columns from students. Now we're going to add what's called a where clause. So where is going to allow us to specify a conditional, and we can compare the data of the columns to some value. So like, let's say we wanted to select all from students where, let's select, Kian will select you. So we'll say name equals Kian, it has to be spelled correctly, and then semicolon. So in SQL, one equal sign is a comparison. So select all columns from students and find where the name is Kian. Cool. Now we could say select all from students where the name is not Kian. So bang equals is not. So that's everyone except for the condition met. And then finally, this is super cool. This is another not. You can do two chompies like this, greater than and less than. So two chompy wonkas chomping at each other also is not. We can do greater than or less than. So let's select all from students where the only thing we can really compare is the ID. So like, let's say the ID is greater than 2. And we don't need any quotes around 2 because it's an integer type value. So we can select all from students where the integers greater than 2, the ID is greater than 2, and of course, less than 2. Yeah, it has all the usual operators. Less than or equal to. There we go. Less than or equal to. So it has all the operators like that. Okay, so that's reading. We can do some more of those. Let's talk about, well, any questions so far? Is this making sense? Am I going at a good speed for the SQL commands? Derek.
I was just going to ask the asterisk. What I think I missed it. What exactly is that referring to? Is that just all columns, or is that
okay. Select all columns? All columns. You like this?
Specifically columns, though.
Specifically columns.
Okay.
Yeah, there's other wildcards. We'll do some, but yeah, it'd be like this, but it's like arbitrary. So it can be any number of columns. Alex, what's up?
Can you repeat what the two chompies were?
Oh, this is
mean-
another, I know. Yeah, that one's weird, right? That's another way of saying not equal. That means not equal. And it's equal, it's the same thing as saying exclamation point equals. Yeah, so it just means not equal. And then you can see everyone whose name did not match Kian was found. Yeah. But I mean, honestly,
Okay,
like that one's, yeah, it's just kind of it's like a peculiarity, I guess. It's kind of funny.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Let's do an update and then we'll take a break. How about that? Okay, so what I'd like to do is let's update. So I misspelled Derek's phone. So obviously you're going to accidentally call someone named Eric if you dial that number. So so the way update works is it's update. And then you say the table. So update table. And then you say set. So set is the column that you want to change. So we want to set Derek's phone to be 1-500. Actually, we have to put it in a string, single quotes, 1-500, call Derek. There we go. So we have to set phone. Now, if we just run this, it's going to update everyone's phone, and we don't want that. So we need to supply a where clause. So where, and we'll say name equals Derek, semicolon. So update a specific table and then set the column that you want to change where the name is equal to Derek. Yeah, it's a little weird how like the equal sign is also the assignment operator and the equality operator. But it's the context of the clause. Hisham.
I think for the update, when you're doing the update, you need to do it in students, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It needs to be students, plural. Yeah, I was about to find that out. So table names are plural, singular references. Yeah, update one. Cool. And then so, oh, go ahead.
I want to ask like this. So we have to like, this is case sensitive, right? Everything.
Yeah.
Like Derek has to be capital D and like lowercase.
Yeah. Yeah. If we select all from students where name equals Derek. Oh, semicolon, my bad. No.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Sharon's asking about renaming a table, which I mean is kind of past where we're at right now. But
oh, I would drop it and you would have to drop the table. You would say drop table blank, create table blank. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to talk about? Oh, we need to do it. Oh no, let's take a break. Let's take a break and come back at 7:50. Nailed that time. Nice. Okay, 7:50. All right, y'all. Let's start coming back from break. All right, y'all. I'm just gonna wait a minute more for everybody to make their way back. Okay. Matt, what's up?
I was just going to ask right off the bat if there's any difference between, is there any advantage to SQL over Mongo, like aside from people using it for a really long time?
Yeah, so I mean, there are some advantages. I mean, there's use cases is what I would say. There's use cases for SQL and there's use cases for Mongo. The restrictive data elements are like considered to be like a benefit rather than a drawback. You know, it can help you protect the data in your database. So yeah, I mean, when you have large amounts of like related data, SQL can get you faster read times. Refs and Mongo actually tend to be a little slower. Embedded documents don't, but they also can cause problems in your database. So for large related data, the relationship queries can be much faster with SQL.
Okay.
Wally, what's up?
No, it's funny because I was just talking to a few people about this right now, and I was just telling them like the way I think about it with MongoDB is like MongoDB is kind of like JavaScript, kind of like loose, and it's like easy to fix things. And SQL is like Java is very like type oriented and blah blah blah, but it's faster and it's like, you know, better for certain things. And
yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah, it's better for certain things. It's not like there's a one size fits all database for every use case. It can be like a lot easier to spin up a MongoDB, like if you're in a developing quickly. I mean, if you're in a hackathon or a personal project, long-term SQL can be more scalable for apps with larger loads. So yeah, and it's important to know, you know, both to get, you know, to like be competitive in the job market. You know, being familiar with both is important, and oftentimes you know, apps will use like more than one database. It's not unheard of at all. Yeah, so we left off, what were we doing? We were doing oh, we did create, read, update. Let's do delete. So sorry, I stopped mine over the break. I need to connect to what do we call ours again? no, I'm sorry. List, intro 831. So connect intro 831. So I'm just going to select all. We have to delete someone. So select all from students. Let's delete key. So deleting is like updating. You have to say it's kind of like inserting, and it's also like updating. It requires a where clause, and you have to say where it's from. So you say delete from. I'm going to delete from students. And now we have to supply a where clause. Where, we'll say the name equals Kian. Sorry, Kian, no offense. Just got it. We have to delete someone. We can bring it back to with our insert statement. So this will delete all matching records. And it says delete one. So if we select all from students, there you go. Cool. And then we can drop the students, drop table. Oh, no, it'd be drop table students, and this would delete the entire table. Easy come, easy go. Okay, let's make a file. There's a couple ways you can bulk load data. So I just did /Q. I'm gonna do an ls. There's a couple ways you can bulk load data. If I ls the data folder, there's some CSV files that we're going to load later. But there's basically two ways you can do this, and I want to go over running SQL or PSQL commands not from the terminal, but actually like from a file. And that's also the other ways you can bulk load data. So let's touch a file. I'm going to touch a file and slack out some commands, and we can make like a seeder file for it. So let's just touch, I don't know, like seed _ movies. And this is just in the root folder of the SQL lesson .sql. So .sql files are like a whole type of SQL file, and you can run commands from them. I'm going to leave full screen for this. And I'm going to open this in VS Code so we can do some typing into our SQL file. So let's make I'm going to slack this out. We can all put it into our movies seed. Just have to copy all the commands from my notes. Here we go. So I just slack this out in the form, and let's copy the contents of this to our SQL file. I just slacked it. I'm going to give everyone a second to do that, and we can CRUD some movies. All right, give me a thumbs up when you have it copied over into your SQL file. Yeah, Sarah, what's up?
Oh my bad, I meant to do thumbs up.
Yeah.
Apparently it didn't, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter talked about how bad Geely was because she saw it recently. I thought that was funny.
Did not hear that.
Oh, No, I was sorry. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter saw Geely recently, and we're talking about how bad it was.
Oh, Geely. Oh yeah, I have not seen it. I've heard it's bad.
I haven't. Yeah, I tried to
Yes.
watch it for 5 minutes. It didn't work out.
Wow, really that bad?
It's bad. It's unwatchable. It's not even like one of those like it's bad, like watchably bad. It's like you can't even watch it bad.
Is it like MST3K worthy?
It's terrible.
I thought
really liked it.
Manos Hands of Fate was the worst of all time. All right, y'all. Okay, so let's make a comment. So I'm just going to command / 2 dashes as a SQL comment in the SQL file. So I need to make a SQL comment. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new database, just like for the lesson, you know, just to practice doing it. And then so PSQL commands are valid to import and run. So this will actually connect us straight up to the database that we did. And here we have a create table command. So create a table to store the movies. Give me a space here. So that's a multi-line command right there. And then finally we have some insert command, probably not the driest way to do it, but you know, I just copy pasted real fast. So so it'll work. So you can just do commands line by line. So insert some movie data. It's going to insert. So title description's highlighted because that's like a keyword, but it's fine. You can name your column that. And then here are the values. And then all the semicolons. Cool. So here is our file. So I just did control backtick. I'm going to open up my terminal. We can just do a PSQL shell right in here. So I'm going to say PSQL. Hey, well, there we go. It's not all neon green anymore. Is this a good size for y'all, or do I need to make it one tick bigger? Just let me know. Okay, so let's use / list. So we have advanced banana sample, Booktown intro, movie lesson. That's where we want to. Oh no, I already have. Wait, hold on. I just want to redo this. Nobody do this. I think I have the same one from earlier when I prepped it. I just realized that. I'm just going to rerun the. Oh wait, we haven't even ran it yet. Okay, cool. Sorry. I'm tripping out here. Everything's good. Okay, so I'm just going to do a / list. And now it's gone. I dropped mine. Yours should look like this. Now, if you want to run some commands from a file, you don't just have to do this for CEDAR data. You might put like an entire command in one file, you know, for like while you're working on it. Or you might use like a GUI. There's like even some IDEs for SQL, like one of them's PG admin. There's like a few of these, or you can just like do it, you know, like the old school way, like text editor and a shell. But yeah, so you can create these like one command for file. Here we're just using some CEDAR stuff. And then here, so we have /I. And /I means import. So we're going to import a file. You have to give it a relative path. So here, we're going to give it just whatever it's called, because it's in // it's going to be seed movies.sql. I did just command autocomplete. And it's going to run all these commands one by one. Cool. So that did that not work for anybody? Everybody got to work? Nice. Okay, and you see it switched me too. So if I describe tables, we see we have a movie table. If I describe movies, here it has an ID, a title, a description, and a rating. Cool. So what I'd like to do is let's just do some commands like let's just see all the movies. So select all. I'm gonna make this one tick bigger. Select all from movies. And you have to spell movies right, otherwise nothing works. So you can see they have an ID, title, description, and rating. Okay, so let's do some more complicated selection statements. So we've seen where clauses, like we could select the title, like where let's only see good movies from movies. So like let's say this is an IMDb app style app. So select title from movies. This lowercase t looks weird, so now it's nice and fixed. Where, and we can do a condition like the rating is greater than, I don't know, 7. Semicolon. So we can do the Boolean search, cool. So there we just see the titles of the good movies. So I just hit the up arrow. So we can actually say and or in SQL. It's kind of like Python. So we can select title from movies where the rating is greater than 7. And the title is, let's say we're in the mood for dinos. Jurassic Park. And this will return only one result. Oh, I'm sorry, I did this wrong. So we have to do the entire where clause once again, and title equals. So you have to change, it's like doing an additional where clause. And the title is equal to Jurassic Park. Cool, there it is. Let's say we're in the mood for watching a bad movie. So I just hit the up arrow, I can say, or the title is a bad movie, like, or the title is Geely. Say we wanted to watch a really, really bad, completely awful, terrible movie. So if the rating is better than 7, we'll watch it. Or if it's really, really bad, we'll also watch it. Now Geely's included. Cool. Let's talk about order by. So let's say we want to order by the rating, because when we select all from movies, they're ordered by their IDs by default, right? So I'd like to see the movies just ranked in order of their rating. So select all from movies, and we can say order by. This is an order by clause rating. Select all columns from movies and order by the rating column. Cool. It's actually ranked the worst movies first, though. So the default ordering in SQL is called ascending. So ascending is like it put the largest values lower. So if we say DES, that stands for descending. This should flip it around. Now it descends. It goes from the largest value and goes lower on lower. So select all from movies ordered by rating descending. The default value is ACS, ascending, which gives us the worst movies first, but we want descending. Okay, so what else can we do? We can do, oh, let's do a limit. So let's say we want to select all columns from movies in order by the rating in a descending order, but so we want to see good movies. Let's say we don't want to have to make up our mind, like we don't need that many choices. We can limit the selection to only be the top 3. Limit 3 results. You can limit any amount. In this case, we limited 3. Let's say we couldn't, well, any questions so far? Is this kind of making sense? Yeah. Honestly, like so far in class, we've gone over every single like level of SQL question that I've encountered in an interview for a full stack developer position.
Maybe we should go over the like keyword.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one. So let's say we wanted to find a, let's say we wanted to find a value that was, we weren't sure what it, like part of it was. What we can do is we can use like, and then we can use a wild card. So select all from movies. So we're going to select all columns. And like modifies a where clause. So there's an order of operations in SQL, SQL clauses. And first you need a where, and then, so we'll say where the, let's say the description, we want to find something that's in a description. So we say where, I can even make this a little bigger so we can see that description thing. Where the description, so we're the description column. And rather than having equal sign, we say like, and we can give single quotes. Let's say we wanted to watch a movie about dinos. We can say dinos %. So this is going to match any movie that has dinos, that starts with dinos, right? So select all from movies where the description is like dino %, and that's a wild card. Cool, so selected Jurassic Park. Let's say we wanted to select one. Let's say we wanted to select one where the name was like, let's say we wanted to select one where the name ended with an R, right? So like name, no, I'm sorry, we already specified name, like quote %R. So it's going to find anything that ends with a lowercase r. Hisham. Oh, I'm sorry, not name, title. Oh my goodness, sorry. There we go, title, yeah, Hisham. Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it, but I see when we, since we already inserted all the stuff on the file, we can't, say if I want to just insert something else, I can't physically go into that file and just write another column. I would have to just insert it through the SQL commands, right?
Oh, you mean, can we modify the file and run it again?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a Cedar file, so it'll run everything again. We could comment it out or create a new file and run it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Kevin.
Hey, I think I missed part where you said, what does like do again?
Like matches where it finds a similarity. So like, so we're finding a title, right? And usually we say equals a condition, you know, like equals something. But if we don't have a specific condition, we need to match a pattern. It's called pattern matching. So we can use % as a wild card. So %R % would be any character before, any character after contains an R. So %R means ends in R. So anything before an R. If we end it with R, or this would be starts with lowercase r. Does that make sense? So it's like we can kind of match a pattern and have like blank spots in it.
Yeah, I got it.
Because the equal sign, it has to be the exact string if you say, if you're using that in the where clause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we said like where, I don't know, let's say just name equals I have to actually spell it right. Jurassic. So if we just end it right here and we get rid of this like, it's not going to match Jurassic Park. It's going to say Jurassic Park is not exactly equal to Jurassic. So it's just going to skip it. It's just that, hey, I found nothing. But if we add like on there, so we say instead of the equal sign, we say like. So you can kind of think of like as like it's technically a clause, but it's sort of like a Boolean. We can just say we can put a % like that. So it'll match anything that's like Jurassic. So this will match not just Jurassic Park, but Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 2, 3, Jurassic World 2.
Okay, so you put like, you need to have that percentage thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now it matches.
Okay,
It matches exactly case sensitive. So it lowercase Jurassic. Lowercase Jurassic just matches like nothing, basically. If you wanted to match case insensitive, you have to like make them both lowercase, for example. So lower is a SQL function. It's like a global SQL function. It's called an aggregate function. And what you have to do is lower. Oh, wait, no, you wouldn't have to lower this one. You just have to lower one of them. So you can compare the lowercase title to lowercase Jurassic, and then this will match any case. You know what I mean? And there's a few of these aggregate functions that are built in. There's like lower, max, min. We can do some examples of them. Count is one of them. We can do an example of count. So now it matches no matter what. We could say like any crazy casing we couldn't put capitals here though. We could find one that has like any of the letter like A. So there's an A with something on either side. So this will match anything with a letter A in it. Does that make sense?
thank you.
Cool. All right. Let's talk about foreign keys. So there's a few different ways that there's basically two main ways that SQL manages relationships, and the way it works is, well, it depends on the relationship how SQL conducts it. We're going to have an example of what's referred to as a one-to-many relationship. So a one-to-many relationship occurs in data when it's kind of like a parent-child relationship between data. It'd actually be a good exercise as a class for us to like maybe think of some of these. So like one I think of off the top of my head, like think of like Reddit or some social media, and think of a post. So one post can have many comments. A comment cannot be related to any post but a single one. There's no situation under which one comment would apply to two posts. I mean, I suppose you could make some kind of bizarre avant-garde social media that did allow you to comment on two things at once, but typically it's one post, one comment, right? And there's an association between the user and the post. So one user has created the post. You have a user account, like on Facebook, you're like required by the terms of service to be a single human or whatever. So one account has created one post. So it's a one-to-many relationship. The one being the user who created the post, and the post being the many, and then the post being the parent and the child being the comment. So parent one post can have many comments, but one comment cannot have many posts. So that's one-to-many. It's notated like 1:m. Well, it's notated like 1:m like this. Don't run that in SQL. That's not SQL. That's just how it's notated, like in regular, like markdown and stuff. So one to many, and then there's many to many. Sometimes you can. I mean, it gets a little like sometimes it's like splitting hairs, deciding if something's one to many or many to many. Let me think of an example of many to many. So usually with many to many, it's like you want to be able to search through the relationship both ways, like provide the user just look up something both ways. Many to many would be let's say Spotify, for example, or maybe not Spotify because I have Joe Rogan on there. Let's take Apple Music, for example. So Apple Music, you can have a song, right? A song can be in a genre. So you can go find a song and you say like, hey, this is like, I don't know, like hip hop or like rock and roll or classical music, right? Like the song can be classified into this genre. Or conversely, you can click on a genre like, hey, I like, I don't know, like thrashcore death metal. And you click on the icon that says thrashcore death metal. And you see all of the songs that fit into this esoteric genre. So this is a many-to-many relationship. One song can have many genres. One genre can have many songs. You know, like maybe you have a death metal country band, and so you have this song that's in both country and death metal. And so you can click on either one of those that you like and find all of the death metal songs or all of the country songs. So it's like a two-way relationship. And typically you want to have a one-to-many when you want the user to be able to find something starting from either side of the relationship. You know, they can search genre, find all the songs, search song, see, or, you know, see one song, find the genres that has been categorized in. Actually, this is an exercise, this is a class. So think of an app like, here, I'll type this out. Think of an app and the database. It would have what is a to many relationship in the database. What would be a many?
Are you typing something?
Yeah, many relationship. Yeah, I'm typing this. Here you go. So respondent thread right here. For Spotify, I would think this is my example. So my app is Spotify. Oh no, mine is Apple Music. So one user can make many playlists, right? And so that's one to many. One to many.
Sorry, we're just seeing the terminal.
Yeah, I slacked this out and I put this in the form. So then my example would be Apple Music. A user can have many playlists, and then a song can have genre. Okay, so Wally, for YouTube, what would be an example of a one-to-many on YouTube?
Like a user can have exactly the same thing, can have like a playlist or subscriptions to like who's there, and I guess who's like their channels that they like or whatever. And then they can also do, actually they can create content too. So they can also create their own stuff. So people can like their stuff and put them on their playlist or whatever.
Yeah. What will be the many?
The many would be the many to many would probably be, I guess, would it count if like they follow or something? I don't know.
I think one account can have many followers. Can you see a follower's accounts though?
Yeah, you can see a follower's accounts.
One account can have many followers, and then a follower can have all the accounts they want. Yeah, that's many to many right there. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's a good point. That's good. That's a good one. Ryan, so for Netflix, what were you thinking for a one to many?
I was just thinking about the users like category, like a watch later list. So something like that, and then it can kind of like, I guess, build off that list.
Yeah, like one user can have many watch later lists. What about many to many though?
I don't know in comparison to like I guess the user, but the same as what you said earlier. A movie can be classified in multiple genres.
Yeah, that's a really common one. A movie can have many genres. So Sarah, for Goodreads, a user can have many reading lists. Yeah, one to many. And a book can have multiple reading lists. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the book can be in multiple spots. So you can see all the reading lists that have added that book. Exactly. So for banking out, a user can have many accounts. Yeah. And then if you're like an authority on the account, yeah, you can see all the users that have access to it. Yeah, exactly. What is DIM, Derek? What is?
It is an item manager.
Oh, okay,
for,
cool. Well, what's the name of it?
It's yeah, DIM, or like Destiny item manager.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah, it's for Destiny 2. It's the only thing that came to mind.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So a user can have many presets, yeah. And then an item can have many types of elements. A single item can be in multiple presets. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so Facebook, a user can have many posts on Rob on yours. So users can join many groups and groups can have many members. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's a many-to-many relationship right there. Even just a friends list on Facebook too. A user can have many users, and you can find any user from any user. So that kind of like recursive example is a little crazy, but models can have a relationship to themselves. That's how Reddit does their, like, you know how Reddit goes infinity on the comments? Like you can just go infinitely deep and it gets really confusing, like what comment you're reading a comment on. They do that. Like comments have a relationship to comments. League of Legends. So one-to-many, you can play with many characters or play many games. Yeah, and then users can have many runes. Yeah, I mean, like so in like an MMO type game, like all of that information is stored on the server, but I don't think you can find that. Can you find all the characters that own a rune, like based on that rune? Oh, you're on mute.
Well, apparently it's not a thing anymore, but in the old days when we used to play, you would buy runes depending on what build you were doing. So
right. Yeah. But could you see
From
the
the
players
store.
who had bought that already?
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
yeah.
if I can see other people's runes, no, I can see mine. I don't think I can. Can I see other people's runes? I didn't go looking. Maybe
It would be many,
but
many
if I
if you
could, then it would
yeah.
be.
Mhm.
Okay, let's say you can then.
You used to be able to view other people's room pages.
Okay, yeah, then that's it. Nailed it.
Cool.
You could so like a lobby, any multiplayer lobby. One person can create a lobby, right? Some games allow you to create lobbies, and then the lobby can have many people in it. Okay, so Sharon, your example is Reddit. One user can have a post with many comments. Yeah. So and then a comment can have many comments on them. Yeah, comments is like a weird recursive relationship in Reddit, but yeah, I think your logic there is in line, because you can click on one comment on Reddit and then see the whole chain down. Yeah, and then Spotify, user can have multiple playlists, artists can have many songs, and a song can have many artists. Yeah, you can find an artist from the song and vice versa. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, so on one-to-many, you can't necessarily, well, you can find the parent from the child and vice versa. Okay, great examples. Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of on the fence whether or not it needs to be one-to-many or many-to-many. We're going to create a relationship. Do we have time? Yeah, we have time. So it's 8:40. So let's create a relationship. I'm gonna get out of this real quick. Let's create a relationship with a file. Let's touch. We're gonna make some reviews. So one movie can have many reviews. So seed _ reviews. Make sure you quit the PSQL shell with \q SQL. And here I'll select this out. So we can do some relationship queries. Here, I'm going to reply in thread to my old comment. This is our review generator. So we'll do another one of these, and then we'll do an imported data file next. So I replied in the comment to my last one. And here in seed reviews, so I select this out as a comment to my second to last post in the forum. So we're going to create a, or I'm going to pause a sec. Give me a thumbs up when you have it copied over. Yeah, y'all able to find it? Cool. Everybody ready to go? Good to go? Yeah. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Okay, so what we're doing here in seed reviews is, okay, so we're creating a table, movie reviews. We're going to stay in the same database we're in, so we'll have to connect to it. So because we closed PSQL, we'll have to connect to it. So we're going to create movie reviews. It's going to have a primary key, right? Everything has a primary key, so we find that. It's going to have a description of the review. It's going to have a reviewer in real life. This might be like a user, but it's just, you know, here. Have the score, whatever they rated it, like, you know, 0 to 10 or something. And finally, this is something new. So movie ID int references movies. So what this is doing is, this is what's called a foreign key. So this foreign key lets us find a movie. So this is a one to many. You can't review 2 movies at once. I mean, maybe if they come out a bundle, you can, but you know, like typically like a reviewer will go see a movie and write one review to it. So in the ID of the movie that review is for is embedded inside of the review when it's created. So like, let's say Jurassic Park, their review number, their ID number is 5, then you embed 5 in because it's about Jurassic Park. Oh, there's a typo here. I'll talk about the typos. Okay, so we're going to create this table. And then so here's the first creation statement. So insert into movie reviews, there's a description, reviewer score, movie ID, and then values, pretty good, the critic. And then this should actually have 4 because there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So it needs a description, the reviewer score, and the movie ID. I'm just going to put like another 5. Let's put a 10 here. Y'all should do this actually too. So this is going to be the description, right? Here's the person who reviewed it. The score, let's just say it got a 10 on the score scale, and then 5. This is an integer that references some movie in the table. Which movie is it? I don't know. I'm just like hard coding it in here. I literally have no idea which one's 5 right now. This is just an example of how you can embed an integer that's going to reference a movie. So whatever 5 is going to get this review. So down here, this is a nested query. So I talked about these briefly earlier when I was talking about how people could use this for good or for evil, doing like SQL injection, but we can actually nest queries in one another. So we can, here what we're doing is, let's just start at the top. So we're going to insert into movie reviews. And then we have the columns we're going to create right here. So description, reviewer score, movie ID. Then we have 3, love them, dinos, the critic, and it's 10. So this is the description, the person who created the review, and the score. And then the 4th item is missing here. So remember, we need 4, just like up here. And in parentheses, like an expression in JavaScript, there's parentheses around a select statement. So rather than hard coding 5 in there, whatever 5 is, a select statement is going to find the ID from Jurassic Park. So it's literally going to return the ID when it matches Jurassic Park. And again, this next one is the same thing. There's 3 values, and then there's a nested query right here to select the ID from whatever's, you know, from the one it finds its cars. And then finally, this one will select the ID of Back to the Future. So that's how you write a nested query. And you can have 2 queries create like data in one another. And this is particularly useful when there's like a relationship. Sharon, I see your question. I want you to copy this into seed reviews. Copy all that. Okay, so questions about the nesting or the foreign key or anything? No questions? Makes sense how you could embed a query in another? Yeah. All right. Happy to hear that. Okay, so let's fire up the PSQL shell and import this, and then we can run some queries based on a relationship. So here I'm in the PSQL shell. You can see that I'm actually connected to my database of my username. So I'm going to /C movie lesson is the name of it. So movie_lesson is where we want to connect to. So I'm going to press return. You can see now I'm connected to a movie lesson. And we want to import this script. So /I and the name of it. So seed reviews. .SQL. And you have to be connected to the right database because we didn't specify where to connect in here. Oh, and make sure you're saved it. Mine didn't look like it was saved. So make sure yours is saved. We'll press return. And so it tells me that it's created a table and it's inserted these one by one. And now what we can do is we can run some relationship queries, but I'm just going to pause for a minute because we have a couple of minutes before I want to take a break. Was everyone able to get that imported or was there any bugs? Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, I couldn't get mine imported. Just didn't really like say anything after I ran seed reviews.sql with a /I.
Did you save it? The file? I wonder if I make some file that's not there. Oh, it tells me that there's no file or directory if it can't find it. I wonder what happens if, yeah, make sure it's saved. If I create something that's like, let's create a test.
Did you wait? Is this slacked out into the?
Oh yeah.
Channel.
Yeah, I did it as a reply to my last chunk I slacked out just because it's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to create this file. Oh yeah, if it finds the file but it's empty, look what happens. Yeah, it's like it doesn't get mad. Yeah, so I think you need to fill this file up with what I slacked out, save it, and then rerun it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I know. Let's take a break. Let's come back at 10 till. All right, y'all. Time to get back to it. I'm just going to wait a minute or two for everybody to reconvene. Everybody was able to load in this file, import it. Make sure you're connected to the movie lesson database. Otherwise, you have to connect to it and re-import it. What I'd like to do is just kind of explore the data real quick. We're going to run a join command, which will allow us to display the relationship between the data, display the relationship between reviews and movies all together. So here, if I do a / and accidentally hit enter, it will think I'm confused. But if I do a / I'm sorry, y'all, backslash. If I do a backslash, describe table and plus return, we have movie_reviews and movies. So we've seen movies a few times. Let's select all from movie_reviews, semicolon return. So there's select all from movie reviews. So here we have an ID. So these have a primary key. It increments when one is created. There's a description of some information, description of the reviewer. There's one very opinionated critic, a score. And this is the column that we're most interested in, movie ID. So what this does is it relates directly to a movie. It's a foreign key. So I'm also going to just select all from movies just to get that data on the screen. And I'm going to make this big. And I'm going to get my zoom drawy thing. So up here is the movie table, right? Or I'm sorry, the movie review table. So the foreign key movie ID 5 relates directly to a primary key over here in this column, Mystic River. So this foreign key tells SQL that if we run the right query, it will import the data and overlap them and display the relationship. So here, number 6, it's also related to 6 is Jurassic Park. So Love Them Dinos is related right here. This is the usefulness of managing your data in relations. Let's say you're just running a simple query. You only want to find, all the movies and, their scores or whatever. You don't have to pull the entire database. You don't have to pull all this information. You don't have to pull all the reviews, who made them, their IDs. You can just pull the movies. But if you do want to see the data overlapped, you can just pull those two compartmentalized fragments of data. So if we wanted to display both of these at the same time, we have to use what's called a join command. So we have to select some columns from a table, and then we have to join the foreign key, and we have to tell SQL where we want the foreign keys to be joined. So let's do that. So if I select all from movies, so I'm going to select all movies. I'm going to select all the movies. I'm just going to press return, make this a multi-line command. I'm my T's my T is, yeah, nothing I can do about that T now. Okay, so now now we're going to run a join. So we're going to select all the columns from movies and we're going to join it. You see my cursor, I'm in the middle of a command. It's a little dash. So we say join and then the movie reviews because we say the table we want to join. So a join's kind of like a select command. We're just telling it the second table that's also being selected. Now joins they have a required clause that's on. So on is where we can relate the primary key of the first selection to the foreign key of the set of the join. So we say movies dot ID equals movie reviews dot movie underscore ID. Now what we're hearing now, dot notation is valid in SQL, and the way it works is it's table dot column. So you can refer to columns with dot notation, and here we're saying the movie ID column is joined on the movie reviews movie ID column. So that's where the relationship comes from. When I press return, oh, it looks like shit. So the reason, I'm just gonna hit Q real quick. What happened is there wasn't enough room width-wise for the shell to display all the data. So I'm gonna say \x auto, and that's gonna make the shell, if there's not enough room, it'll make it, instead of being horizontal, it'll make it vertical. So \x auto, that's extended display auto. And it says extended display is automatically used. I'm gonna hit backspace a couple times, and I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get the join command again. Cool, now it actually joins them correctly. And you can see that it, for each one, it shows here's Mystic River, and then joined on it is all of the reviews that relate to it. So here we go. So yeah. Questions about the join? Yeah, makes sense. There's 4 kinds of joins in SQL. We're only going to talk about that one join for right now. Wally, what's up?
For the movies ID in both tables, is that something like for the foreign key, do they need to have the same name? Like, could it be?
No. We could call this like Banana Shack if we wanted to. Okay, but then when we go to join it, we can just say like join movie.id equals movie reviews dot Banana Shack.
All right, sick. Thank you.
And you can chain multiple joins to display relationships. You could, let's say the reviewer was a user, right? So we would say select all from movies, join movie reviews on movie.id equals movie reviews.id, just like we did. And then we chain another join, reviewers on reviewer or movie reviews.reviewer ID, which doesn't exist, equals reviewer.id or something like that. You know what I mean? We just chain joins forever when we have a complex table. And hopefully we'll be able to get into some examples of that later in the lesson. But this is sort of the introductory join relationship between data.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been asked to do I bet if you went in for like a junior SQL position, they might ask you to do things like joins. But so far I've just been asked like basic reads in like full stack interview questions. Okay, so let's I'm not just gonna \Q. I feel like that's as far as I want to take data relationships in the first SQL lesson for now. Let's talk about importing some of the data that's provided in this lesson. So here we have some .csv files. So these aren't just commands, they're actually formatted data that can be loaded in. So this is actually true CEDAR data in SQL. database. You can see it's pretty much comma separated lists with new lines, so it's a very simple format. GitHub is actually, it's smart enough to display it. So here, let me pull up the lesson real quick. You can say this, see, this actually creates a very nice visual representation of a SQL table. So you can see these are books, you know, there'd be a title, author, original language, and first published. And then you have all of this Cedar data available. So if you're making Cedar files, you could, like, on the one hand, make a .SQL file, or you could load one of these in. We're going to make a SQL file that loads one of these in. So we're going to do like a double whammy type thing. But yeah, really, it's best to kind of think of SQL data as like a spreadsheet type setup. They're not an array. Typically they're thought of as a set. And so queries happen instantaneously on all things rather than things are iterated on. And this would be like an example of books, see the database. So we can load that CSV file straight in there. Here's the raw CSV. So yeah, let's come over here to scripts. So here in the library, we have this create table books.sql. And what I'd like to do here is load in. So let's make a script to create a database and connect to it and load in all that data. So let's build this together. So let's see, I'm just going to delete this. So first we need to create, I don't know why I'm doing it in all caps. I just love caps apparently. So create a library database. And then what we need to do is we need to connect to the new DB and then create a books table. Let's start with number one. How can we create a library database in this SQL file? Wally?
You're gonna do create table in all caps?
We're not creating a table yet. We're creating.
I mean, yeah, my bad.
Create database. Library. Cool. Now, how can we connect to it? What can we do here to connect to it? Hisham.
/ connect library, or is it forward slash? I don't know what it's called anymore.
I don't know what it's called anymore either. I probably said it like both ways, like 10 times.
Yeah,
it's a backslash.
All right.
Yeah. It's like the top of it that governs the way it's going. Yeah. So /C library. So no semicolon this time. Now we're going to create a books table with all of the stuff those books had, but how can I create a books table? How can I just get started on creating the table here? What do we need to do? Misha.
Create table.
Yeah, create table.
And then the name of the table, I guess books.
And then, so I'm just gonna put the semicolon there already. Let's, we can look at here to see what, when I say here, I mean this, we can look here to see what data we're gonna need. So we're gonna need a title of arbitrary length. We're gonna need an author of arbitrary length, original language, first published, and that's it, other than the ID. So all of these I think will be text other than the integer of first published and ID. So let's build this together. So we need the ID. I always just start with the ID because it makes sense to me. Serial primary key. and a comma, a title of text, comma, an author, which is also going to be text, comma, an original underscore language, and these all have to be spelled right. Otherwise, we're going to have to drop the table and start over again. Or alter the table. We could do alter table commands if we wanted to. And then finally, first underscore published. And this will be a integer. Yep, that's it. Now, so this will create the database, connect to it, create a table. Now what I'd like to do is bulk load from the books CSV file. So this is going to require a relative path from where the shell was opened. I'm going to assume we opened the shell like in the top folder of this project, and then we're running scripts / library / this one, that big long title. So I'm going to assume we're in the top folder. Just for clarity. So if we want to copy in data, rather than doing import like we do for the SQL file, we're going to use the copy command. So we're going to use / copy. And the way copy works is like this. It works like the calls to copy as a comma separated list. And then from, this would be a relative path to the file. And then with, and you have to say, and here is where you specify the data. And we would say with format CSV. I said from, but it should be format CSV, and then comma header, because these CSV files contain the description of each column. So true, semicolon. So this is how that works. So in our case, we're going to copy the title, the author, the original language. Oh my goodness, sorry. And first published. So those are our columns we're going to copy. Now we need to tell it where, and this is where I wanted to assume we're on the root folder. So we'll say from script, I'm sorry. No, well, from data / books. That's the file of the CSV. And then finally, we have to specify the format. Ours is going to be CSV. And does it have a header? Yes, it does. Default is false. And don't forget your semicolon. Okay, so with the columns, title, author, original language, first published, from the data file, the relative path to the data file, data / books.csv. We want to specify the format and whether or not it has a header. Sarah, what's up?
Are you missing, is there supposed to be a with before the format? Because that's how.
Oh, yeah, there's supposed to be a with. Thank you. My bad. Yeah, there's supposed to be a with right here. So copy. This is getting long. Just make it a little smaller so y'all can see it. So copy the columns from data with, and then the format and whether or not it has the header.
Also, does it matter language is spelled incorrectly?
It should be spelled, it has to be spelled correctly.
That's what I thought. It just had to match it in there.
No, it actually has to match what's in the CSV file too. Yeah, so make sure everything's spelled right. Because it's because the header specifies, well, let's go look at the file. This is the header right here. So the header specifies the columns. If it wasn't here and the header was false, we wouldn't have to, we could rename them. Okay. So this is it. This is right here. This is the file we can import and run. So make sure that you're in your top folder. Oh goodness, this was supposed to be bash this whole time, my bad. So make sure you're in the top level of your folder for this project. And open the PSQL shell. I'm gonna make this big again. Make sure your file is saved to this 00 create table books.sql. And so we'll do \I, and we just want to import the file. So it's going to be in the scripts folder. You can do tab autocomplete, and in library, there's one file. So it's going to import and run all that stuff. And if there's any bugs, we'll have to fix the file and re-import. Syntax error near title. Because, okay. Why are you mad at me? So copy title from
You have to put the ID first.
I was expecting it to generate the ID because I'm sorry, because I forgot one part. You have to specify the table it's going into. My bad. So you have to say books like that, or table to go into, table to go into. Yeah, that was my bad. I just spaced on that bit. So so we need to copy books. And what I'd like to do is I'm just going to connect back to my username. That way I can drop the library table. So just \C to your username and drop database, because I just want to run the whole script all at once, you know. So drop that. This is what I was kind of saying when you're like first getting set up, just like do it right, or start over and do it right again, you know. It's like make it nice or make it twice. So drop database library colon semicolon. Cool. So now we can try and rerun it. And you see, if we're connected to the library and you tried to drop it, it'll say like, hey, I'm not going to drop a library, or I'm not going to drop a database I'm connected to. So that's why you got to connect back to your user. I'm going to make sure to save my file right here. Kevin, what's up?
Yeah, I did the drop database library and it says error cannot drop the currently open database. And I did
that's because you didn't connect to another database. You have to connect to your username or to Postgres. No, you're on Windows. You don't have a user. You have to connect to Postgres. So like Postgres, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now you can know the database. Your user is Postgres if you're on Windows. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you could just create a database under username. Oh, but you need the password. Forget it. All right, so what we can do, so everyone's dropped, so let's re-import. If there's another bug, everybody already knows about it and I don't know about it, so I'm going to find out. Import. You just hit up till you find it again. Cool. Okay, sick. This worked as expected. So when it says copy 140, we now have the information in the database. Okay, so
I'm getting another, sorry, let's get another error. I did that, and then it's back to library as user Postgres, and then create table, and now it's saying error character with byte sequence 0x well any in win 1252 has no equivalent encoding UTF. And it's just context copy books line 49. I don't think it worked because I don't see copy 140.
Yeah, can you post that screen grab in debugging? And yeah, that was just so we can see the error. Alex, what's up?
Mine didn't import either. I got a couple of errors.
Yeah, post them in debug. We'll just pause right now and debug everyone.
Okay.
I think it's a Windows issue. Everyone else is doing the same thing.
Is it, wait, is there any Windows person who it worked for? Okay, well, we're getting to this. Let me see. Yeah, we'll just pause for a second. It's cool. We're going to do a lab in a sec, but we have tomorrow for this lesson as well. It's cool if we pause and get everyone on the same page. Okay, so it's only Kevin, Kian, and
Christian. We're all on Windows though. All three.
It's me as well, Weston.
Character with byte sequence and encoding Win1252 has no equivalent in UTF. What is the character Win1252?
I don't know. I did the backslash I scripts importing thing again. And I
I
copied.
think it's mad about that. It's mad about the line 18. Do you have a line 18 in that file? What is on line 18?
Line 18 is right. Yeah, you can see it. It's what you have on line 18.
Yeah. I think it's when it's trying to import it. It's not mad at that line. It's mad at the import file that was downloaded. And I think that this is a like special character that's not. Okay, the most used single byte character encoding in the world. I'm reading about this thing. Character encoding superset, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm just going to Google this error. Byte sequence, and then it gives that hexadecimal 0x8f. Okay, Windows people, let's give this a shot. Okay, so if you're on Windows, you had that problem. We're just going to change. Give that a shot. Wait, shit. Hold on, I gotta. Alex, let's see yours. Oh, Alex, you're missing this. Right here. You have to say that table it's going into.
Where do I put that? Do I just type that into
your PSQL shell?
Okay.
And then try to import the file again.
Okay. I gotta like get out again, right?
We'll have to delete it and try again. Yes.
No.
What did it say that time? Same error or different?
Same thing. And I did the set client coding to UTF-8.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so in your so when you're importing this file, you're try and put these right here, like that. Header true, delimiter, comma, encoding UTF-8 when you're trying to import it. This is Windows only, still Windows only. So add that. You also have to get back out of your database, drop it, and then rerun the script.
Yeah, now it works. That's good.
Oh, it's good? Sick. Okay, Windows people do that.
Hey, Weston, I didn't finish copying that down.
Same thing, yeah.
It's in the Slack.
It's in the Slack debug channel. You can find
Thank
it
you
there.
very much.
Yeah.
It just said create. Yeah, it has it's create table copy 140. That's it, right? And then that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Sharon, save your file. And Alex. Oh yeah, Alex, did you get yours fixed?
Yeah, I got it. I had an extra comma somewhere.
Sick, nice.
Do
Thank you.
/connect and then space library.
Is everybody good to go, or are there still bugs?
No. So
Was that a no or a yes?
no.
No, not good.
Yeah. Should I share my screen?
No. Have you been able to import other things?
No. Like for other things, yeah.
Where did you open the PSQL shell at? Like what folder?
My folder, I think.
I'm sorry, can you speak up? I couldn't hear that.
In my folder, I think. Like my name. Like it has my name. No.
In the top level folder?
Yeah, in the top level folder.
Oh yeah, that's weird. So what's going on with your do you have the database made or anything?
No, like when I run the command, it doesn't like run the commands in the file.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we're gonna do a lab next. So what you should do is just copy the lines one by one from the from here. Like copy these one by one, just so you can get ready for the lab.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know how that goes. I'll wait a sec.
All good now. Thanks.
Good. Okay, cool. All right, I've almost finished typing out the lab thing. So and there's just one more thing. So I'm gonna have y'all do some CRUD operations on the table we just imported. So you will have to do a little bit of research. Is this in the right? Yeah. So you're gonna have to do, I'm just gonna mark 2 of them with a little R because you have to do some research on them. So I'm gonna open up breakout rooms and I just select out what you need to do. So you can write a script or you can do these straight in the PSQL shell. You would have to make a new script in the library folder though, or the top level folder. But just do these one by one. So you're gonna want to get all books from the book table. List the title and author for the first 5 books is the second prompt. Determine how many books were written in the year 2000. You're gonna have to do a little research for that one. You're going to need what's called an aggregate function. We covered one aggregate function, but you'll have to find a different one. So insert a couple things in there. Delete one of the books, and then you'll have to do a little research to alter a table. So I also want you to alter one of the tables. We'll probably work on this till shoot, we kind of ran out of time, didn't we? I just looked at the time. I thought it was like 50. I thought. Yeah, let's get a head start on it. You know, we'll work on this for 15 minutes or so, and we'll probably start with it and then do a review. I was hoping to have a little bit more time at the end of the day, but you can get through the first few. Hey, Sean, what's up?
All right, what is that command again to make it so it doesn't look like doo-doo?
Oh yeah. \x space auto, extended display auto. Whoa.
Hey, Ryan.
Right, you're like telepathic.
What am I?
Yeah.
Well, I had a question because I had invited y'all, but I didn't know if y'all are coming. So mine was messing up during the import because it said tablespoons was undefined.
Tablespoons?
Yeah, that's in the ingredients, like because there was a name. Can I share my screen real quick?
We weren't doing ingredients.
Oh my god! Well, I just did whatever that lab was. Oops.
No. We're just doing the books. We're gonna do the ingredients next.
Oh, see, that's what I thought. And then my team was like, "No, we're doing this lab," and I was like, "Okay."
No. Didn't I?
Yeah, you put up the book stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think there's just a little bit of confusion. I'll clear it up. We'll do that lab probably tomorrow and finish this one up. So you'll have plenty of time to work on it. But yeah, we just imported the books together, and then the ingredients lab was gonna do the import.
We just saw her, I guess, lab, and I looked for it, and I guess we got the wrong one. My bad.
Oh, good. Yeah. Hey, y'all. We were working on books lab. I slacked out. Just FYI, we're gonna do ingredients later, practice importing and stuff. But we're just gonna close out the lab tonight. Probably, start first thing tomorrow with finishing up the lab and doing a review. I brought y'all back because I wanted to just hold all your questions about the lab for tomorrow. We'll do a reacclimation thing review tomorrow in the beginning of class, so you can keep working on that. I am stalling for time right now while I get the homework together, which I should have done already. So just need one moment. So close. Just got to stall for a little bit more time. Just need to find homework thread. Cool, found it. We were supposed to finish the Python classes today, but we're going to assign a Python classes practice. It's not super important that you finish it before class tomorrow, so you can work on it tomorrow night if you want. Tomorrow night, we're also going to have a couple more assignments. One that is on Django, which is the backend framework that we're going to be studying. So that one's going to be real important, but here's some Python classes practice. It's going to be assigned tonight, due on the 22nd. And y'all can work on that in your free time. It'll be good practice before we get to Django. We're going to work on SQL more tomorrow night. And then we get a long weekend. Yay, long weekend. As much as I love spending my weekends with y'all, I also am looking forward to a trip to the beach with the dogs. So enjoy your long weekend. I hope you have but we're in class tomorrow, so you don't get to enjoy it yet. Anyways, that's it for tonight. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thanks, Weston.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Weston. Weston, we don't have class on Saturday.